This video is for you if you want to learn how to make sourdough starter and sourdough bread with millet flour. I recommend watching the video without skipping. In this video, I will teach you how to easily make your own sourdough starter. First, you need a weighing scale. In a clean glass jar, add 5 grams of rice flour and 5 grams of finger millet flour. Next, add 10 grams of filtered water. The simple formula here is to take an equal amount of water and flour. Mix them until combined. Cover the jar with a lid, but do not screw it tightly, we do not want it airtight. Keep this at room temperature for about 24 hours. You should now have a total of 20 grams of starter. Add 20 grams of finger millet flour and 20 grams of filtered water. Mix them until combined. Cover the jar and place it somewhere dark for about 12 to 18 hours. You should see that it has risen a bit and some bubbles are present. You have now a total of 60 grams of starter. To prevent ending up with too much starter, discard the 40 grams of it into another jar. This discarded starter can be used in various recipes like pancakes, cookies, crackers. Feed the remaining starter with 20 grams of water and 20 grams of finger millet flour. Repeat this process until your starter doubles in size. It normally takes about 7 to 10 days for starter to mature, but if you live in colder places like I do, it can take up to 2 weeks or so. Let's make a gluten-free ragi bread using this starter. In a clean bowl, take about 220 grams of sprouted or regular ragi flour. Next, add 50 grams of rice flour and 200 ml of filtered water. Combine everything until no flour is visible. Cover the bowl and let it rest for about an hour. Next, add about 80 grams of active sourdough starter. As you can see, I have used most of my starter, but I still have a little left in the jar. You can add more flour and water to the remaining starter and it will grow again. Next, add about 150 ml of water and 25 grams of psyllium husk. Clean your hand and start combining everything. It may look like a little runny, but the psyllium husk will soak up the excess water and provide structure to the bread. Cover the dough and let it rest for about an hour. Meanwhile, I will show you how to feed the remaining starter. So add about 10 grams of any flour of your choice. I am using rice flour and 10 grams of water. Combine them well. Clean the glass jar as much as possible. You can also place a band around the jar to monitor its growth. Place the lid on the jar and keep it somewhere warm. It should double in size within a few hours. Next, add 4 grams of salt and 10 ml of water to the bread dough. Mix it well and let it rest for about 2 to 3 hours. Take a bread baking basket or a regular kitchen bowl lined with a kitchen towel or a linen cover. Sprinkle some rice flour on the dough and onto the cloth to prevent the bread from sticking. Shape the dough and then transfer it to the prepared bowl. Transfer this to the refrigerator for about 12 to 36 hours. This is what the dough looks like after 14 hours of resting in the fridge. Preheat your oven and your Dutch oven to 220 degrees Celsius. Scold the bread with a sharp clean blade. You can create any pattern you like. Transfer the dough to the preheated Dutch oven and sprinkle some water to create steam. Close the lid and bake it for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, remove the lid and bake for another 30 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. This is what the final bread looks like. Let's cut it. The bread is still hot and it has baked beautifully. If you try this recipe, do not forget to share your feedback. Thank you so much for watching this video.